Kathrine of Aragon was such an exciting person. So who was Kathrine of Aragon and how she affected history? To start, let's talk about who she was. Kathrine of Aragon was born on December 16, 1485. She was the youngest child of King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain. During Kathrine's early childhood, she was betrothed to Arthur, the Prince of Wales. They got married on November 14, 1501. But sadly, Arthur died on April 2, 1502, leaving Kathrine as a widow at the mere age of 16. 7 years later, Kathrine married Arthur's brother, Henry VIII, on June 11, 1509. Most of their marriage was quite happy. Sadly, Kathrine had 6 children, but only one survived to adulthood, Mary Tudor, or Bloody Mary. Henry realized that Kathrine couldn't provide a male heir and started looking at other women, including Anne Boleyn. Henry decided to try to get an annulment. Kathrine fought hard, but on March 30th, 1534, their marriage was dead and gone. Kathrine died at the age of 50 on January 7th, 1536. Now that we know about her life, let's talk about how she has affected history. To start, like most queens, Kathrine's skills, successes, and political abilities were ignored, and she was judged on her ability to provide an heir for Henry. However, Kathrine was a great queen and would play an essential part in the field of cloth of gold in 1520. Kathrine would also give the poor things like food, money, and clothing during the winter. She was one of Henry's closest advisors, also played a big part in the Battle of Flodden, and was the first female ambassador of England. Kathrine of Aragon, however, is most known for her annulment to Henry. Henry solicited a divorce from Pope Clement VII on the grounds that their marriage wasn't valid due to Kathrine's previous marriage to Arthur. Kathrine denied this claim and stood by the fact that her marriage to Arthur was never consummated and therefore was not valid in the eyes of the Catholic Church. Henry allowed Kathrine to go peacefully and live in a nunnery, but Kathrine chose to fight it out in courts, which sadly ruled against her. Henry also tried to force Kathrine into the annulment by separating her from her daughter Mary. Pope Clement VII was reluctant to end their marriage, so Henry decided to take matters into his own hands and have the Archbishop of Canterbury announce that their marriage was done. Henry had to separate from the Catholic Church and create the Church of England in order to do this to Mary Ann. If Kathrine had acted differently, the Reformation, the dissolution of monasteries, and the separation of the Catholic Church from the state would have never have happened. So Kathrine of Aragon has affected history because of her annulment and her role as a queen. Lastly, here are my sources.